Welcome to the program of Discipline Talk. In this video, we are going to learn about communication, definitions of communication, process of communication, levels of communication, flow of communication, technical and general communication, non-verbal communication, barriers to communication. So let's start without any wastage of time. So before starting, this topic is important for your exam point of view. So keep watching till end. Let's start. From the beginning of the human existence on earth, so there has been communications. So communication is a systematic way to share human thoughts, ideas, information, experiences and knowledge. This complex process includes all the activities: listening, speaking, reading, writing, understanding and responding. The word communication is derived from the Latin word communis, which means to share or belonging to all. So it's an attempt to share information and knowledge to make it known to all. Here are some definitions of communication. So it's very easy to understand and describe the concept of communication, but it is very difficult to define the term itself. Communication is simply a process. It is not only an art but also a science. Here are some definitions of the term communication. First one is, communication is a process of exchanging ideas, thoughts, information, knowledge, etc. between sender and receiver through accepted codes. Second, communication is the activity or process of expressing ideas and feelings or of giving people information. Third, it's an art or act of an instance of communicating the importing or exchange of information, ideas or feelings. Fourth, communication is a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs or behavior. Fifth, communication is the activity of conveying information through the exchange of thoughts, messages or information as by speech, visual signals, writing or behavior. It is the meaningful communication. You can write down these definitions. Alright, talking about the process of communication. The process of communication involves many steps. So first, there are at least two persons. The person who sends the message is called the sender and the person who receives the message is called the receiver. So here are 6 steps of communication process. First step is ideation. So it's the first step of communication cycle is to have an idea with the sender. The sender send his idea or is to be sent to the receiver through proper channel. So the first step is called the ideation. Talking about the second step, which is encoding. So the idea is converted into the message which can be transmitted. This step is also called encoding. So here the sender has to take care of the symbols and signs to be used for encoding. They must be comprehensible to the receiver. Talking about the third step, channel. So the message is transmitted through proper channel media. So if the sender does not select the transmission mode correctly, so there may be many changes in miscommunication. So proper care should be taken while choosing the channel. Fourth step is decoding. The message is received by the receiver. The receiver has to understand the original idea. For this, the receiver will decode the message. This step is called decoding. So after the decoding the message, the idea reaches the receiver. After that, fifth step is receiving. It's the last step in the one-way process of communication. So is receiving the idea which the sender earlier had in his mind. Talking about the feedback step. This step, the receiver has to convey the message back to the sender that the message has been received. So this step is called feedback. So at this stage, the receiver becomes the sender. He has to go through all the above steps and send his feedback on to the earlier sender who has now become the receiver. So this is the most essential step in the entire communication process, since it completes the cycle of communication. So here you can look at a diagram of the process of communication, where is first source, after that it will encodes, channel, decoding, receiving. So here you see the context of this, here you see this image. So Talking about the levels of communication, so communication between human beings takes place at these following levels. First one is extrapersonal. So this level of communication occurs between human and other species. For example, your pet, a dog, may bark and wag its tail when he sees you, or when you rub his back. So sometimes these communications are the examples of extra personal communications. Talking about the intrapersonal communications, so here intrapersonal communications takes place within the individual. While preparing for an examination, you motivate yourself, telling yourself, I can do it. So this self motivation is an example of intrapersonal communication. So even at the time of the intrapersonal communication, so communication with others, we try to judge or evaluate the others. So the evaluation and the judgment is an important intrapersonal level. So talking about the interpersonal level of communication, so this communication takes place between human beings. Sharing information, exchange of ideas, negotiating are all examples of this type of communication. So hence the roles of sender and receiver changes constantly here. Talking about the fourth step, organizational. So this type of communication occurs when and across the organization. So in this type of communication, there are different networks and different directions in which communication may take place. Talking about the fifth step, which is mass. So when the sender has to reach out the large mass of people, so this type of communication is chosen. Examples are announcements or information provided through pamphlets, advertisements, etc. So the sender selects the appropriate medium, newspapers, books, magazines, televisions, like that. So to reach the masses. Talking about the flow of communication, so during the process of communication, the message flows from one person to the another person. As per its flow, communication can be classified as. So first flow of communication is downward communication. So the communication from the senior authority to the junior authority. Examples are instructions for any task, orders, or suggestions, etc. So which the chairman of the company when the chairman of the company announces a new rule to be followed by the employees, so it becomes downward communication. Talking about the second, upward communication. So this flow of communication is the opposite of downward communication. In this type of flow, requests, proposals, polite suggestions, feedback, etc. are praised. For example, the employee proposes some changes in policy to improve productivity. Talking about the third, horizontal communication, when communication takes place among members of the group and all of them are at the same level. So these are the peers, so it becomes horizontal communication. For example, the heads of different departments of an institute discuss the matter in a meeting. Fourth flow, crosswise communication, the communication flow in all directions. This type of communication flows in all directions. When a subordinate from any department, so this communication with the authority of the other department of vice versa, so it becomes crosswise communication. Talking about the grapevine communication, so the grapevine communication also flows in all directions. However, this is an informal communication, so if it used carefully, it can influence public opinion. Otherwise, it becomes an unreliable source for rumors. So it is not reliable because no one takes responsibility of it. So talking about the general and the technical communication, so a person goes to buy corn in the market. If he calls it Zia mice, it is scientific name, the seller would not understand. However, if he says on Butha or Choli, the seller would immediately understand what he wants. So in everyday life, when one communicates with others, one uses the language of general communication. But when one has to communicate with a professional or technical person about professional or technical matters, one has to use technical language. So the technical communication follows a set of instruction and is formal in style and approach. So the general communication does not involve the use of technical vocabulary. jargon languages, and graphic is scientific or professional language and may often be informal. Technical communication is always meant for a specific awareness which can comprehend the intellectual information being conveyed. Talking about the non-verbal communication, so the communication has two major steps: verbal communication, in which words are used for communication, and non-verbal communication, in which words are not used. So non-verbal communication has 5 components: kinesics, proxemics, chronemics, and paralanguage, and appearance. So talking about kinesics is an important component of non-verbal communication. So the movement of the body conveys many specific meanings. So their interpretation may be culture bound, since one of these movements may be unconscious or subconscious. So kinesics movements carry a significant risk of being misinterpreted or intercultural communication situations. Kinesics involves gestures, postures, facial expression, body language, etc. Gestures like shaking a fist to show anger, nodding one's head in agreement, donate a specific message. However, not all gestures have specific meanings. Many gestures are abstract and may not carry any specific meanings. So talking about postures, reflect your body position. Straight erect posture conveys your confidence. So it is also an important in communication process: how you stand, how you sit, how you stand, and how you walk. So body language talks more than words. With a sad face, if someone shows his good results, we rely on their facial expression. So the alertness of the body is observed keenly by the interviewers during the interview. Direct eye contact with the listener. Awareness is essential for every speaker. Awareness for eye contact is a major barrier to face-to-face communication. Talking about the proxemics, so it means distance. The distance we keep from others during the communication process shows the relationship we share with them and the subject we are discussing. Intimate distance is a contact to 18 inches, and personal distance 18 inches to 5 feet, and social distance 5 feet to 12 feet, public distance 12 to 25 feet. So talking about the chronemics, so it deals with the time, silence, and pauses play an significant role in communication. So the silence is considered as a language of many emotions. Talking about paralanguage deals with the vocal qualities as volume, pitch, rate, pronunciation, stress, and intonation patterns. So the quality of voice determines the effectiveness of message. Using a high pitch reflects helplessness, tension, and nervousness. Talking about barriers to communication. Communication is a process through which we convey our messages to others. So the things which make the process slow or ineffective are called the barriers to communication. So the following are the some major barriers of communication. First one is semantic linguistic barrier. So when the speaker uses words which the receiver or the listener does not understand or decode correctly, so it becomes semantic or linguistic barrier. So thus the speaker should choose his or her words carefully, being fully aware of the context. He should not use technical jargon and making grammatical and spelling mistakes in conveying messages can also create semantic barriers. Talking about physical barrier, it includes noise, distance, physical discomfort, environmental conditions, etc. So create a physical barrier to communication. The receiver may not be able to hear and understand the speaker due to these reasons. Talking about interpersonal barrier, so an interpersonal barrier is created between the sender and the message and the receiver if the attitude of the speaker and listener do not synchronize. Lack of self-confidence, use of inappropriate language, and verbal or body language can create interpersonal barriers. Talking about psychological barrier, your emotions and attitude can create psychological barriers because of fear, anxiety, complexes, and personal procedures, stress, lack of confidence, etc. A psychological disturbance is created. This has consequences on communication. Talking about organizational barrier, so in an organizational barrier, sometimes there might be loss in communication due to the poor and flow directionally or style of communication. So the other reasons could be a poorly planned infrastructure, size of the organization, information overload, and excessive transfer points. Talking about the mechanical barrier, sometimes many mechanical factors are responsible for the breakdown of communication process. So these are considered barriers in the channel of the medium: faulty instruments, inadequate knowledge about the channel, medium, machine technology creates such barriers to communication. Talking about socio-cultural barrier influence interpersonal relationships, class conflict, caste divide, cross social cultural differences, social cultural codes and conducts could be the source of socio-cultural barriers. I hope you find this video informative. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and give thumbs up.